Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the level 180 post Darkmoor storm build guide. This is coming up a few weeks after I made the 170 build guide, because Darkmoor released a lot earlier than I was expecting, but I was able to get it with my membership, so I was able to max my 4 maxes. So I will be having build guides for Life, Storm, Ice, and Death. I figured Storm would probably be the most popular school, so I'm going to start with Storm, then I'll move on to Death, and then I'll figure out the other two. But yeah, let's get into it. The stitch is not there because I have not had the crowns to stitch. I've been doing trivia, so maybe I'll do rate my stitch to try and get that like token, but whatever. Let's swap to the gear set and let's pop the potion. So if you notice, my robe is stitched. That means I'm using the same robe from 170, but the hat and the boots are different. And I do have a notepad pulled up for myself with the stats for my 170 build, so we'll be able to get the exact changes and improvements from the 170 build to the 180 build. From everything I've seen, Storm has had the least amount of upgrades, but I mean, yeah, the Storm stats are like definitely the weakest, in my opinion, weakest in terms of getting upgrades, so you honestly don't really have to farm too much in order to get the new gear. But yeah, let's get into it. So we're rocking 10.2k health, 247 damage, 36 universal resist, 40 accuracy, 964 crit, 49 pierce, perfect pips, and 892 conversion. Now compared to the previous build, the 170 build, we have 200 more health. I was rocking like 10,020 something on the 170 build. Now we have 10,200. The damage increased by 11. We went from 236 to 247. And the pins also have changed. I'm rocking Myth right now just for a bit. I was doing with someone in the Xerath Discord. But if I was going to be min-maxing this, I would probably be using death damage pins to use with like a Scarecrow or something, or like vampires if you need to heal. You can get 276 damage. I believe that's the cap, or like 275. So I don't know why it's showing 276. But this is around the cap for every school for Storm. Because Storm got these crazy pins that give 40 damage, so you can get max damage on basically any school you're choosing. 36 resist is actually down from the 170 build, and that's because I'm using a quint damage pet. If I was using the pet I used for the 170 build, I would have 3 more resist and only 3 more damage, because this is a free-to-play friendly build, so I'm not using any like motorist overcoat, I'm not using any stat mounts. But if you were to use the aggressive traveler overcoat, you would get 250 damage and 50 pierce, and you lose a little bit more resist. Accuracy is the same, it's 39%. The crit is up about 90 is what it looks like. So we went from 875 crit to 964. The block went up 12. So instead of 598, it's 610. My pierce went down because I'm using this quint damage pet, but for questing, I'm going to be using the proof pet with the breaker until I get a better one, which I do have this double pierce, double damage proof hamster, which I will probably use as well. But your pierce will vary from like 48 to 50 something. Conversion, we went up from 841 to 892. And that increased the percentage by 2. In the 170 build, it was 64%, and then in the 180 build, we have 66%, and then 100% pip chance, and a little bit more arch mastery. I think it's like 5 more or something like that. Yeah, let's get into the build. I will tell you guys where every piece is. So for the hat, we are using the new shocking A-bomb crown. This dropped from Balar, the final dungeon in Darkmoor in Skullomance. Honestly, the only increase is 1 damage and a little bit more health and a little bit more block. You get 60 more health, same pip, a little bit more block, you get 4. It's the same accuracy, same pierce, 30 something more crit, 1 more damage, and the same resist. So realistically, you probably could just keep the Reaver hat, but you know, if you want to min-max 1 more damage, some more crit, you'll want the A-bomb crown. For the robe, we are still rocking the fraught plot armor. It's just pretty good. It's like your best free-to-play alternative for the aggressive overcoat. But obviously, if you have the aggressive overcoat or its raid equivalent, then for sure rock that. It gives more damage, more pierce at the cost of less resist. And I can show you guys that in the crown shop. It gives less health, less pip chance, no block where you get shad instead, 3 more damage, 1 more pierce, a little bit more accuracy, but you lose some resist, and you get a little bit more crit. So it's just a more offensive robe than the plot armor. And I don't believe the Reaver robe works for Storm because I think it gives 7% pip chance. So you would be at 99% because of the way the hat, the boots, the theme, and the ring give pip chance. So there is that as well to consider. You want to make sure that your robe gives at least 8%, and the aggressive overcoat does give 8%. As for the boots, you can probably tell from my stitch, it's the A-bomb boots. You'll probably be a little surprised to know the stats are, again, pretty much the exact same as the Avatar and Reaver boots. You get a little bit more health, same pip chance, 5 more block, the same accuracy, the same pierce, 30 more crit, or like 28 more crit, the same exact damage, and then 3 more resist. So yeah, the resist is the biggest upgrade here. You get 3 more, but that's pretty much it besides some crit and a little bit of block and a little bit of health. So if you were really stuck on time, you could just keep your Reaver boots or your Avatar boots. You don't really need to upgrade to the A-bomb boots. However, the A-bomb boots does drop from Balar as well, same as the hat. And that is the final boss in Darkmoor and the Skullman's. As for the wand, you can again probably tell from my stitch, I'm rocking the new A-bomb wand. I haven't put a tier jewel on it yet, but I'll probably put on either an item card or health. And this is the biggest upgrade that we get. Compared to the Reaver wand, it gives a little bit of damage, which is very nice. It gives a little bit more crit, a little bit more block, more pierce, same accuracy, and a little bit more conserve. And it does have a similar item card structure. It gives you two hits and then some wands. However, the A-bomb wand is a little bit better for advanced because it gives 2 PvP friendly or advanced combat friendly wand hits. Compared to the 170 attunement rod is pretty similar. It's a little bit more damage, same pierce, a little bit more crit, a little bit more block. You trade the shad for conserve if you're rocking the 170 or the 180 attunement rod. And the 180 attunement rods are the exact same as the A-bomb glaives, except for swapping, I believe, the conserve for Shadow Pip as well. It's the same template as this, but the same stats as this one, except for the conserve, obviously. And then the item cards are also different. And the A-bomb glaive also drops from Balar, the last dungeon of Darkmoor, and the Skullman's. And this is kind of the template for a lot of the new builds, is you want to rock the new hat, the new boots, and the new wand, and they all conveniently drop from the same boss. So you can just run the final dungeon over and over again and eventually get all your stuff. On this character, I did farm final boss. How many times did I farm him? I did Balar 30 times on my Storm, and then I also got the badge on my other characters. So I at least farmed him like 45 to 50 times. And I got most of the gear. I was missing a couple hat and boots, so I had to craft some. But yeah, it shouldn't be too rough, but yeah. And the crafting system right now for Darkmoor is a little whack because you can't transmute the Aged Ichor. So you kind of just have to pick them up or buy them from someone in like Gamma's trading post. Now, the rest of this will probably be really boring if you watch the 170 build, but I'm still rocking Reaver. And it's for the simple reason, it's the same exact damage. It's 70 more health and 3 more block. That's it. So like, yeah, I'll probably use this A-bomb thing because I already unsocketed the thing with a wrench, but it's pretty much the exact same, which is a little bit unfortunate. And the Athame drops from the Grey Man fight, the Grey Man Golem fight. That's in Graveholm, in that weird like court looking area with the Grey Man guy. It's like off to the side when you do the cantrip and you go through the wall. It's that dungeon. Amulet, I'm still rocking Reaver. In a perfect world, I would be rocking the Raid Amulet, the Ghastly Conspiracy Amulet. Otherwise, you could rock the new Amulet for Darkmoor. It gives a little bit more resist, and it gives, I think, an Elemental Blade. As you can see by my lack of membership, I did not have time to care about the amulets that much, so I'm just going to continue rocking Reaver until I get either the Ghastly Conspiracy Raid, or maybe a new one will come out. But yeah, I'm still rocking Reaver. For the ring, I am still rocking the Reaver ring. And it's a similar story as the Athame. They are pretty much the exact same. It's 30 more health, 20 more crit, and same damage. That's it. And I mean, yeah, because I already unsocketed it with a wrench, I'm going to use it, but the difference is so minute, you don't need to farm for this gear. And the rings come from the Sister Sanderson side quest fight in Graveholm. It's like when you get to Graveholm, you go up the stairs to the right, and you take the first flight of stairs down, and then Sister Sanderson's there standing next to a sigil, and that's the side quest. The fight is like a 2 to 3 rounder, so it's not that hard. It's kind of like the Crash the Bandicoot equivalent of Darkmoor, because they also drop the wrenches, but you really don't need to use a wrench and extra jewels for this ring. You can just keep rocking the Reaver ring. For the pet, when I'm doing like team gameplay where I don't really care about my resist, I just use my quint damage hamster that I got. Otherwise, I'm going to continue using a proof pet with breaker, or a triple double, or a double pierce resist pet. I prefer to have survivability when I'm soloing, so I'm going to be using proof pet to some degree. Mount, I don't have a stat mount, so use whatever mount you want. If you have a stat mount, cool. And for the deck, I am still running Avatar. The A-Bomb deck, a similar story. It gives a little bit more health, a little bit more block, a little bit more crit, and a little bit more conserve, and that's it. The difference is it gives an attenuate, but honestly, I think the Elemental Blade is more valuable than the item card Attenuate, so I'm going to continue using my Avatar decks. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the build. The last thing I'll go over, because you might have noticed it here, are the jewels. For Storm, the Pierce and the Damage jewels are the same, so you're still going to be using your 6% Pierces and your 11 damages. They did get better health jewels for squares, so you get 35 health on that. And the tier jewels I'm pretty sure are the same, but I'm probably going to switch to using both item card potent and item card sharpen and sacrifice the 100 health. So I will be doing that most likely. I should have them. Yeah, I got them right here. And yeah, that's pretty much the only jewel update for Storm. Some other classes got 1 more damage. Pierce is always the same. It's going to be at 6. But yeah, pin-wise, again, I think rock Death if you want to be like a min-maxer, and I would say do damage and pierce for the death pins, and maybe like 1 or 2 crit if you really want. But yeah, I mean, that's Storm's upgrades. They're pretty minimal. A lot of it you don't really have to farm for. I think the only thing you should farm for, if you're not doing raids, is the wand. And if you want more resist, get the boots. The hat gives 1 more damage, and these all give such small upgrades. I don't even think it's worth spending the time to get the upgrade. If you get it while questing, cool. You know, if you have an extra wrench, cool. If you don't mind the extra jewels, all right, put it on. You'll get a little bit more block or a little bit more crit. But that's honestly the only real upgrade that Storm gets is the hat, boots, and wand. I will say, though, the other classes are not like this. My other classes, my life, my death, and my ice got a lot bigger upgrades. I think Storm and I think Balance are they just didn't get that good of gear upgrades, which I guess in a sense is good because you don't have to spend a lot of time farming. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna stop beating around the bush. This is the build. I hope you learned something about level 180 gear and Wizard 101, and I will see you next time with the other builds.